difficult. Blessings, everybody. Thank you for joining me. So much I want to cover this morning. And first of all, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to break it down. Now, there's going to be some things that I say may offend you. I'm going to speak some truths, and I'm going to be talking about it with the astrology. Now, if you get offended and by what I say, then I am a reflection of something maybe you need to look at within yourself, because I get offended by people too. And then I have to look at why am I being offended? What's going on with my own energies, right? So number one thing, or not number one, well, one of the things I've always said, it comes from a grassroots. All of this energy that we've been working with, especially over the last couple of years, has been to do with Pluto coming into Capricorn. Pluto coming into Capricorn is disruptive. He came in 2008. We saw what was going on with the economic markets in 2008. This was looking at, what needs to change. What is that system that needs to be changed? And as he moved along, it wasn't until Saturn started to come in and creep in. Now, when Saturn came in, we knew that there was some cray-cray that was going to happen. And we knew that there was a conjunction that was going to come in January 6th, later on, January of 2020. And we knew that when the two of them come together, it's disruptive. Now, fast forward now, we have our personal planets in there. Now, not to say that Jupiter or Saturn are not our personal planets, but our real, like our planets that do with, our identity, our voice, our actions, our what we love, what we want to create, are Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Those are really our personal ones because they're very close. When we start moving into Jupiter and we start moving into Saturn, that's sort of our expansion, our direction. Where do we want to go? What is it that we want to take and build? Okay, that's what we want to take and build. So right now we have this energy and this moon that is coming next week. And this moon is going to be big. And I'm just going to say it's very powerful. And it really has a reflection on what is going on within the collective consciousness. And as we have this buildup of the new moon, we also have Mercury, who's been retrograde. And Mercury retrograde, he is getting close to coming back to his conjunction with Pluto. Now, Pluto is digging things up. He's in the last degrees of Capricorn, in degrees that we've never actually lived before, unless you are from 1776 and that era, and you're still around. Hey, give me a call. Let's have a chat. Probably seen a few changes here and there. But this is where this conjunction is coming in. And the Pluto conjunction is something that is coming in with our communications. How are we communicating with the truth that we have discovered over the last 18 months? North Node Gemini coming, and now the nodes are in, the North Node is in Taurus. What are we doing with that truth that has come in? How are we voicing that and bringing that truth out? Now, we're seeing that truth wanting to come out in many directions. We're seeing where we have with Mars going in to Capricorn, which he loves because now it's order and I'm going to fight for justice. I'm going to fight for what is right. We're seeing it unveil in Canada. We're seeing it unveil in many of the parts of the United States as well. We're seeing now a convoy coming together in Australia. We're hearing it. We're seeing it. A lot is coming in. A lot is being voiced. And with that, it's grassroots. I said from the very beginning, it isn't going to happen within your government. It isn't going to happen within your policies. The only way change can happen is with grassroots. What's more grassroots than a trucker's convoy? What is more grassroots when we bring together harmony and peace and wanting to create a change? That's where the astrology is coming in. It's showing you. And Uranus in Taurus, we don't know exactly what direction this is going to take, because Uranus is really going to be that ruling energy for the year. That means things can change in many different directions and in many different ways. This is coming in where in 1776, it was illegal to write the Constitution of the United States. What they're trying to do with the convoy, it's illegal for them to be doing this convoy and coming together. They're trying to make it illegal. They're trying to call it scandalous. They're trying to call it where this is going to bring in evil and uprising, and there's going to be people that are going to try and cause trouble. In 1776, they were trying to make that Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, John Hancock, all of these guys were like criminals against the British Empire. This is showing you that, as history, this is bringing in change. This is bringing in a revolution. And a revolution that is coming in to have us look at the change. Now, the South Node Sag, or South Node Scorpio, I should say, is fear. It'll manifest in all kinds of fears for you. So you will be feeling the anxiety. You'll be feeling the anger. South Node Scorpio is like the deeps and the depths. This is coming in with fixed and cardinal energy. Not a lot of mutability until we get into Jupiter and Neptune. And even the two of them, they haven't been in Pisces since 1856. The starting of the Civil War in the United States against slavery. Coincidence? No, there's no coincidence in the skies. The sun is going to do what the sun's going to do. Saturn is going to go in the direction that Saturn is going to go. This is where the energies is showing you. As above, so below. One of the people have asked me, why haven't you gotten the vaccination? One, I'm sorry. When I see 100 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people running in one direction and saying, yes, go and get it, I'm going the fuck the other way. I am not going in that way. Plus, when I saw that Saturn was going to square Uranus, I was like, hold on. There's some crazy scientific weird shit going on that is not going to be good. And there's not going to be good results from it. Because Saturn is restrictions. Saturn wants to hold you accountable and to hold you accountable for your fears. Uranus rules Aquarius as well. And he's kind of cray-cray, and he likes to try and do things in weird ways and new ways and innovative ways. Sometimes not. He is Uranus, uranium. He's explosive. Things that are new and different, and Saturn wants to keep the restraints and so when I see something coming down and I'm just like, whoa, there's some cray shit coming in. I'm gonna trust my astrology. I'm gonna trust that because it's connected to a belief and to the divine and showing us, and that's what astrology does. It shows you the energies that are coming in and helps you to work with those energies so it can help you get through transformational and crazy energies. And it helps you to open up so that you can walk through doorways and say, yeah, this has been a great year. This has been fabulous for me. The last 3 months have been crazy and struggling and overwhelming for many of us because we're finally feeling that crunch. We're feeling that transformation of energy that's coming in, that's getting us to say, all right, now the work is beginning. It only started in 2019. And I've been warning people since 2016, 2017 of a great change. Even before then, I was telling people about the border being closes and things being changed. And I was saying that way back when I lived in Temple in Calgary here in the Northeast. And I was telling people, I keep on seeing the borders closed. I keep on seeing crazy things and grassroots connections coming in and people gathering and uprising coming in. People thought I was crazy back then. I was saying the same thing in 2019. Grassroots coming in, changes coming in. Don't stand together, stand up. Now that's what we're doing. Is there frustration with this all? Yeah, there's a lot of frustration with it all. We still have 2 personal planets that are retrograde. Venus is going to be going forward, and she's the goddess of love. She's the goddess of money. She's a goddess of what we are wanting to do, our projects, right? How are we going to go forward with it? And in comes Mars. Mars is right beside her, and he says, okay, baby, you want to go forward with this? How do you want to do it? So you got the feminine energy and you got the masculine energy coming together. And as she starts to go forward and Mars isn't far behind, that means there's going to be radical changes and transformations that are going to be coming in for us, especially until March. There's going to be where you are going to be pushed against the wall with a lot of your belief systems and look and discover, is this really true? Is this really what I want to stand up for or not? Our values are being questioned. Because for the last 18 months with that North Node in Gemini, it was all about truth. Gemini is the truth sayer. It says, is this the truth? Give me the facts. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Give me the facts. South Node Sag, it's like, I want to be saved. Save me, save me. So everybody runs to the government and everybody wants to have somebody else come in and save us. Now, the nodes have changed. Now the energy is switching and saying, you want to be saved? Okay, we got to gather together and you got to look and you got to go deep inside yourself to look at that. And that is where there's blockages. That's where there's fears. That's where there's anger and frustration. But this is where we look at it and look at where that anger and frustration is. And we got to step into our light and we got to come from a place of love. We got to come from a place that is going to create that change so that we can have a better place for our children. There is so much that is unveiling for ourselves right now, and it is showing you. And as Pluto gets closer and closer to Aquarius, and when he goes into Aquarius, he's going to be there for 20 years. That's going to be another radical change and transformation. That's where you're going to see a lot of people like the baby boomers, and generation, what the next generation, what is it, X or whatever they were called, is going to be retiring. Who's taking over? Who's taking over? And for the next 20 years, we're going to see a huge decline in population. We're going to see a huge switch in how things are done, and where there's going to be a great call for people to do trade work, for people to come in and start doing work. Those are going to be in high demand over the next 20 years because a lot of people aren't going into those trades. It's too much work. So all of this is coming in, all of these changes, and that's bringing in the changes in values. It's bringing in the changes in how in your belief system and how you want to create that change. That's where we're at. And we're seeing it. The other thing is our PM just went into hiding for 5 days because he was exposed to COVID. As if he hasn't been exposed to COVID the whole fucking time in all his travels around the world. But now he's in hiding. He's gone down into the bunker. And hopefully he's hoping that everything will reside. Well, all I can say is with Mars and Venus coming forward, there's nowhere to hide. Things are going to erupt explosively, especially when we start dealing with Pluto and Uranus. This is where we are going to see huge explosions, not only in Canada, and those explosions can come in many different ways, but around the world. We're going to be seeing things come in so many new ways. And we can go into Europe and what's happening in with the Ukraine. People can call it a distraction, but it's going to come in something explosive. We are going to see explosions happening over the next month and a half. And how we are going to take action with that. How we are going to come together with that. Because the big ones are going to start coming because that new moon is going to be squaring Uranus. So that is radioactive. that is bringing in something that is transformational and great quantum leaps that are coming in. And I just did a blog. That's when, I was doing a blog before I came in here on the changes that about this new moon and the transformations that are coming in. And this is where with Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, both making a triple conjunction to Pluto, we are in the depths of diving deeper. Can you feel it? It's crazy. This week is big as we have a second of 3 Mercury Pluto conjunctions. And Juno, who is married to Jupiter, is also involved. There are big things coming up and being revealed through information communications in business, work, government, politics, authority figures, and higher up. When Juno gets involved, that means there's something that's going to be changing for long term. How do you want to make the changes for long term? She is in there for commitment. She's not letting go. And with Pluto coming in, he's bringing up some crazy dirt. That is some of the things that we may, and with Uranus coming in, are going to be quite interesting. We're going to find that through this also with changes is that history, information through history, is not going to be what we thought it was. So the shadow of Pluto in Capricorn expresses when we project our authority and power onto others, the axis of the victim and the tyrant, giving away our power or lording our powers over others is intimate, connected to Pluto. As humans, we do this with celebrities, politicians, spiritual gurus, religious figures, even gods and goddesses. This is where it is. We're going to be seeing on this axis of the victim and the tyrant and how this plays out and how you as an individual want to connect and bring in the change. For me, this whole point of devotion to the divine is to use it as a sacred reflection to the mirror back of my own divinity. If our version of the god and the goddess harms others, is a bigot, a racist, violent, or dogmatic, we are projecting our own fears and childhood wounds onto the divine. The great mother and father energy is like the great crystal with many facets. We will see the mirror of the divine, what needs reflection within our own selves. That brings in frustration. Now, with this new moon creeping up to Saturn, Saturn will work with you to create new change as long as you release the fear, as long as you release that of which is holding you back. Because the other thing about Saturn, he's Satan, he's the devil. You want to stay there? You want to be injured? You want to go hiding? You want to stay in lockdown? Fuck yeah, I'll keep you there. It's your decision. Your energy, the way that you think, the way that you come out, holds power. Where do you want to hold your power? Do you want to have your power going up to the divine and going into the higher frequencies? Or are you wanting to go into the lower frequency of judgment? There's loads of judgment going on right now. Tons of judgment. I can say sometimes I do that as well. People frustrate the fuck out of me. I get angry. I get mad. I get frustrated. I see the PM and I want to punch him in the face. Maybe not a good thing, but he's a frustration. I see things that are unveiling in the United States and I'm just like, oh my God, why is Nancy Pelosi running for another term? Are you fucking serious? Don't they have a retirement age? I get that too. I see people. It angers me when I've seen people go and they bowed down and they did get vaccinated when they said they wouldn't. It frustrated me, but I got to honor their decision. That's the thing, is honoring their decision, not calling them sheep. They're human beings. They're human beings. We all make choices in our life, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. And you may not like all of those decisions. But in order for us to make the change, we have to come from a place of love and a place that we can come in with blessings. That's where it's at. Don't be calling others sheep, because there was a time in your life you were a fucking sheep as well. We all do it. This is what this is coming into. This is coming into a very powerful new moon portal. And we have the new moon in Aquarius, which is about community. It is about groups. It is about gathering, coming together as a collective to make a change. You can make a change very easily within yourself and within your family. That's where it begins. And with this, we have this new moon on January 31st, February 1st. And then the next day, on February 1st, we have the Chinese New Year. And it is a water tiger. We haven't had that since 1962. Whoa, missile crisis. Crazy. And from February 1st and 2nd, we have the calendar version of the embolic, the cross quarters, between the winter solstice and the spring solstice. And then on February 3rd, we have the precise solar gateway for the embolic when the sun moves into 15 Aries, Aquarius. This is the tight embolic portal and having solar embolic align with the Chinese New Year. This is so significant. We have this energy, and just think of this alignment and how this convoy and how this energy is in alignment with all of this. An alignment on this axis of victim and the tyrant, and in comes the grassroots for change. Interesting. Find that interesting. You know, when I see the astrology play out right before our eyes, it's crazy. And Uranus is dominant theme this year, and he brings swift and sudden change, revelation, reversals, and aha moments. The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. It'll piss you off. Seeing it, thinking it, and you're like, what was I thinking? How did I do that? This is a great mantra to be turning into right now. As without, so within. So yes, pay attention to external events and realizations, but make sure you are focusing as much, if not more, within. See past the blind spots, face your own shadows, dive deep. The revelation and awakening without is fueled by our own personal inner work. As within, so without. Predictions on the outcome of the convoy. Well, they're not leaving anywhere, definitely. But we do have Mars in Capricorn. We also do have an obstinate PM with a military behind his back. So this could be a military action that can come in. I can kind of feel that coming in. Definitely, I can see the army coming in. It is going to be one, because if you look at, through history and the alignment of where everything is, of 1776 and 1858, this is only the tipping point of change. And with the Pluto conjunction that is coming in the United States on February 20th, 2022, this is also looking into changes around the world, changes within our economic system. We're already seeing, if anybody bought Bitcoin and stuff, of that plummeting. We're also seeing where the stock market is going down. Prices are going up. This is looking at how do we want to rewrite our history? How do we want to rewrite our future? And that's where it's coming from. This is the awakening of the change that is going to come in. And they're going to be there 5 days after the PM comes out of his little hobbit hole. And it is going to be, it can get messy, as much as they want peace. They want peace. I know they want peace. They all signed, an agreement, the truckers did, on this convoy. But you also have to see where they brought in communities together that wouldn't normally come together, because everybody is, against the mandates. This is where also, for all of us to look where your money's being spent. If you shop at Costco, if you shop at Walmart, if you shop at any of the box stores, boycott. I'm serious about that, because they don't give a shit about you. And it might be seeming that it's cheaper there, but you also got to think they are wanting to put in the QR cards for you to enter there. And if you don't have one, they will escort you to what you need to buy and escort you out like you're a criminal. It's happening in Quebec. They're already talking about it being up throughout Canada. This is what the convoy is all about. And I know many of you, if I had to pay to shop somewhere, I refused. I never bought a Costco card. It's one of those things. It's another one of those things with me. Okay, everybody's running to Costco. I'm going the other way. I don't trust it. I don't shop at Walmart. Very seldom do you see me in Walmart. I don't go to the big box stores. Very seldom. Unless it's Michael's, which is very evil. Sorry. I atone for my sins. Or chapters. Because, they have books. I, have a fetish. But this is where it's like, okay, maybe there's other ways for me to do what I need to do and shop the way I need to shop. Shop local, shop community. That's where it's going to come. Go to your local Hutterite farm. Find out where they are. Where do they sell? Let's support. That's where it's going to come to. You got to step away. And I know some of you every Saturday morning or whatever it is, you go to Costco. But I'm telling you now, this is complying. This is a compliance. This is where victim or tyranny. It's like, this is the tyrant. Here's the big box stores. They're the fucking tyrants. They're the ones that are saying, come shop with me. I'll give you it on sale. How are they getting all their supplies? This is where I could just see so many layers there that are trying to show you that you got to stand and you got to band together. When people strike, that's one thing that people hated in BC, because there's so many, where people stand up and strike and they have the unions. Why do you have a union? Because you need a voice. Like them or hate them. They brought a change in for how people work and the workers' union. Otherwise, you'd still be working in shit. This is where your dollars count. Where you spend your money counts. Where do you want to put it? Where do you want? Do you want to sell it out? Sell everything out? Sell your body out? That you have no control? I remember my brother getting pissed at me because I didn't go get the vaccine. I said, no fucking way. Sorry. I mean, I love him, but I'm not complying. I'm not complying. People asked me, what would it take? It would take a hell of a lot of someone pulling me out of my house and saying, you got to take this. It would take a hell of a lot, because there's no way. Not when I look at this and the alignment of what it is with World War II and what Hitler did to the Jews. And it wasn't just to the Jews, to anybody who was different. And it started with people who were elderly, locking them away. Started with people who were mentally ill, locking them away. We're seeing it. This is where it's like, you want the change. What kind of change do you want? What kind of change do you want? That's where Saturn in Aquarius. What kind of change do you want? It's like when they were the Mafia brothers in Capricorn. What do you? I'll throw you in the back of the bar and let you take as many drugs and whatever you want. Cool. Jupiter in with Neptune, man. 1856, expansion, change. We can go with it on a spiritual sense. We can step into it. We can ho'oponopono and step into that light. We can step in, and I know that truth is going to piss you off. What's coming forward is going to piss you off even more. More is going to come in. Are you going to get mad when you see some of these guys get arrested? Fucking yeah. But what are you going to do about it? That means that you're going to band together and say, I'm not going to spend my money there. That's where we start. That's the truth. And sometimes you're going to go without. And you're going to see if we don't band together, if we don't continue to stand up and do what we need to do, what kind of world do you think your children will have, or your children's children? I don't give a fuck if you have kids or not, but that future, if you're only thinking about you now, this is all about me and I don't give a fuck about out there and I'm doing my thing, you're going to be fucked in the ass. Just saying. Sorry. Because you're going to go to the store and you're going to see that beef is like $300. It's amazing how overnight, even third world countries like Brazil, Venezuela are looking at the United States, looking at Canada, looking at Europe and saying, do you guys not see what's going on? Because this has happened in our country. And we have a whole shit to clean up here. Did you not pay attention? And we're like, oh yeah, whatever. Because it's easy. It's easy to hide away. Now with that South Node in Scorpio, hey, I'm a Scorpio. I can tell you it's freaking easy to hide away. It's freaking easy to stay in the same spot and not move. But I've learned that I can't. And that's why disruption and craziness happens in my life, because it's to get me out of being so stale or stagnant. It gets me to move. It gets me to look out and see things in new ways. And that's where we have to go. And it's going to be difficult. I'm going to let you guys know. It's going to be hard. And those guys are going to be there for a long time. Because changing things what the government wants is going to take a little bit of time, because they are going to call them that they're putting everybody at hostages, and they don't negotiate with terrorists. That's what they're going to say. And they're going to say that because they don't want to negotiate with terrorists. And do you think Australia is going to come out the same way? But this is what's going to create the change. We got to do something. Otherwise, you're going to be locked in your home. They're going to lock you down again. They're going to say, yeah, we'll let you go back to work. Oh, no, come on home. The Bank of America now just claimed that, all employees are coming back to work, yet they have closed down a lot of branches. So a lot of people aren't going back to work because there's no branches to go back to. Interesting. So the revolution has started. That's how it started. Revolution starts when there's a movement like this, and it creates a big change. And it doesn't seem like much at first, but it's great. This is where these guys have been meeting in different places to make the change. So how do you want to make the change in your life? And I honestly think that you guys, and this is my opinion, you can take it or leave it, whatever. It's time to boycott big box. It's time to do the boycott. And it is going to be a hard one, I know, but this is go local. I've been saying that for a while. Go local. Local farmers market. If they don't want to allow you into the farmers market, find the farmer. Because 10-1, most the Hutterites aren't going in with this bullshit, or the Amish. Any of them, they're not going with this bullshit. And they will sell to you. So I'm going to send you guys out with so much love. Great changes happening. That's why JT has COVID. Yes, definitely. All of a sudden, his little group has grown beyond his imagination. Oh, he did not expect this to happen. He was not expecting this. And if you do any investigation on any of his tweets and anything like that, and you see these people tweeting or retweeting his stuff, they are all a part of his little media group. So there is one guy I follow, one of the guys I follow, and he's from Montreal, but he's a litigation lawyer, now YouTuber. But he does a lot of background checks and stuff like that, and he goes into it and finds these things, right? Yeah, farmers will sell what they have. Like farmers will sell to you if they have, if you know a farmer who has chickens and the chickens are laying eggs right now, they will sell to you. They will sell to you. This is where if you know somebody with extra plot of land, this is honestly, this is where you start looking at the seeds. And it's going to take us a bit to rebirth this country into something that we want for our children, to have the peace and the harmony, to bring in the communities, to bring in the groups, and to come from a place of love. That's the big one, coming from a place of love. The frustration is there. Definitely. The frustration's there. The anger's there. There's a lot of angry people out there. There's a lot of people filled with anxiety. And this is where we need to really bless them. Do the Ho'oponopono on everybody and go forward. But I can see it getting kind of crazy and kind of ugly in Ottawa. I can see that happening because they're not leaving. He thinks that this is a one-day affair, but it's not. Aw, Jen, that is so beautiful. Yeah. And to sell it, definitely. There are a lot of bison farmers around too. Great bison farm. I love bison farmers. And they have it. A lot of farmers now that I know of, some of them are wanting to start their own butcher shop on site, and that if not, they're taking their stuff to the Hutterites to get butchered. So, I mean, those guys are going to be busy, but that's just so that they're not going mainstream and looking at mainstream. So this is, a revolution, people. This is change. It's there. This year is ruled by Uranus, and being ruled by Uranus mean that there is going to be great change and great innovations are coming in, new ways of doing things. And there's going to be some crazy things that are going to be tried and pushed upon people too. But this is awareness. This is, do not turn your back on the world. Stay in the world, stay grounded, and stay within your love. That's what you have to do. And remember, love isn't puppy dogs and kitties and fluffiness. Love is strong. Love doesn't put up with bullshit. Love fights back. Have a blessed one, everybody. And I love you all. And I thank you very much for joining me and being a part of my community. Doesn't matter where you are. We're going to send out Ho'oponopono out to everybody and everyone in and around this world, because that's what we have to do. Shine your light. Don't let anybody distinguish your light. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Blessed be everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.